Of the Art Lewis Show here on a Wednesday morning. Jonathan Dent along with you. So happy that we could talk with Matt Fallon during the first hour. But coming up towards the end of the month, it's something that happens every year, and we'll find out exactly how long it's been happening. It's the Positive Results Downtown Saginaw Memorial Day Parade. Here to talk with us about that is the Executive Director of Positive Results Downtown, Anne-Marie Batkoski-Sullivan. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. So glad to have you with us.
Yeah, thank you.
And to share a little bit more, we've got the Grand Marshals, two of them, of the parade, John and Diane Mulvaney. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan.
So let's start with you, Anne-Marie, on the rundown. I referenced it. How long has this Memorial Day Parade been going?
So Positive Results Downtown has been involved since 2005 in partnership and collaboration with the Saginaw County Veterans Memorial Plaza. But the parade itself has been going on for about 50 years. 25 years before that, a gentleman by the name of Charles Peterson was in charge of it, and his daughter Valerie. And I guess my understanding from the history, it was a gigantic parade at that time. There was a little bit of a time-off period, and then Positive Results brought it back in about 2005.
Great.
So, yeah, tradition for the last 20-some years.
When is this year's parade?
So this year, it always happens on Memorial Day. So it's Monday, May 25th at 11 a.m.
Oh, yeah, Memorial Day is early this year.
Yes,
that
it
keeps
is.
throwing me off.
I know, me too, and it comes up so fast. We start at Washington. We go along Washington. Our check-in point is at Janes and Washington, where the Spicer Building is. That's where people check in. And then we go along from Federal down South Washington until we get to the Saginaw County Veterans Memorial Plaza at Hoyt Park.
Fantastic. So, John and Diane, you'll be heading up the whole thing, maybe in a symbolic sense. But how did you get involved in this, and what are you looking forward to here?
Well, it came as a surprise to us. We have a local friend. I think we still don't really know how it happened, but we had a local friend that I guess nominated us for the honor of being the Grand Marshals, and we were chosen, and we're honored to be there. We're really honored to be there.
Yeah.
And it's something very special to us, with John being a Vietnam veteran and my dad and his dad. So veterans run in our family.
Absolutely. And John, as you mentioned, you are a veteran. Thank you for your service. But not only are you involved with the parade and all that, you've got some involvement when it comes to, what's it called?
Well, we're involved with the Patriot Guard Riders.
Patriot Guard, that's what it is.
They started in 2005 when the Westboro Baptist Church was protesting Iraq KIAs that came back from overseas. And it started in Kansas from a small American Legion group and expanded quickly into all 52 states. And we are still standing today for veterans that have passed away, and knock on wood, we don't have many KIAs coming back anymore. So that's a good thing. But if you see several people standing with flags outside a funeral home or at a cemetery, it's likely the Patriot Guard Riders that are standing there for that veterans that's passed away.
I've seen that before, not in person, but I've seen demonstrations, and especially when there were protests and things like that. It's a great thing to do. It really is, and thank you for being involved with that.
Yeah.
How did you start with the Patriot Guard?
Well, I worked for General Motors for 43 years, and in 2008, after I retired, I heard about the Patriot Guard Riders, particularly through our VFW post in Hemlock and Merrill. So I decided to contact them and got involved with them, and it turned out to be a very, very good group that honored the family. They supported the family in their time of need, and at the same time honored those veterans that served our country. Unfortunately, most people don't hear the stories of these veterans until they pass away, but upon their passing, it's like, as I said, it's a real honor to support the family in that particular time, because it's a rough time for the family at that point.
Absolutely.
There are special things we do for the families at that time. We present them with a plaque, and John would read that to them. And then we also have another plaque that we give to the children of the deceased and the spouse. And it's a little prayer. And I told John, I said, I got to do more than just give them the prayer. So I started to hold their hand and kneel in front of them. And I get a little emotional, even though you don't know them. But you look into their eyes and you start reading the poem to them. And you go to each child. And it's something very special, and it's very moving for the family. We also have there's many things we present to the family and the children. We have an angel coin, and we also present that to them. Or we have a patriotic PGR coin. And the family is thankful that we are there. And when my dad passed, I never knew what it meant to the family until it happened to my dad.
Yeah, it's rough being on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
When you're presenting and you're doing your presentation, it's emotional enough. But if you're on the other side of it, receiving those items along with the flag that the military presents the family, it's an extremely emotional event for the family. So all the support that anyone can give families when they're veterans in the family have passed away is really an important thing for the family at that time.
Absolutely. You mentioned the plaque and the poem. I'd like to take a look at those. We don't have time necessarily in this segment, but I do want to ask, is there a way that people can get involved or support Patriot Guard or other organizations that do something similar?
Well, technology is great when it works,
Yeah.
Jonathan, but the old method that I use, I'm about the 8th grade in technology, is you Google up Patriot Guard Riders, and you'll get patriotguardriders.org, and that will give you all the information you need about what we do at funerals and so forth, and it gives you links to join up.
Do you need to be a veteran to join up?
You do not need to be a veteran, nor do you need to ride a motorcycle. It began with a motorcycle group in Westboro, Kansas, as I indicated, but not necessary to ride a bike, not necessary to be a veteran. All you need to be is a patriot that wants to support those veterans that gave some years of their life for our country.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. We'll talk a little bit more coming up. We're talking with John and Diane Mulvaney. They are the Grand Marshals for this year's Saginaw Memorial Day Parade. We'll have more with them after this.
You never thought...
Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Jonathan Dent along with you today on a cloudy Wednesday morning. I'm joined by John and Diane Mulvaney. They're the Grand Marshals for the Saginaw Memorial Day Parade and the Executive Director of Positive Results Downtown of Saginaw, Anne-Marie Botkowski-Sullivan. Thank you for being here. You brought along some of the things that when you're involved with the Patriot Guard, I'll recap that, attending veterans' funerals and being a flag line there and showing support. You brought along some of the things that you would present to families. I'm wondering, could you just read off the plaque that you would give them and maybe a paragraph of that other presentation there, if you could?
Well, Jonathan, when we present a token of our appreciation of the family, we give them this plaque that's provided to us by the Patriot Guard, and on it says, "On behalf of a grateful America and the Patriot Guard Riders, please accept our sincere condolences on your tragic loss. May your pain be tempered by the knowledge that we have the veteran's name and his where he served, whether it be Marine Corps, Army, and so forth, is a true American hero. Patriot Guard Riders, we stand for those who stood for us, and we thank the family for their veteran service to our country and tell them that every freedom that we enjoy in this country today was granted to us by their loved ones' service to our country."
So true.
And
Yeah.
Go ahead, Diane.
And then John introduces me, and I give this to the spouse and to the children of the deceased. The poem is, when tomorrow starts without me, when tomorrow starts without me, and I'm not there to see, if the sun should rise and find your eyes all filled with tears for me, I wish so much you wouldn't cry the way you did today, while thinking of the many things we didn't get to say. Then I present this to the children, and they have this and read the rest.
Yeah.
A lot of families put these in their curios and their displays after the service as time goes by, and I'm sure that they're in a lot of fireplaces and so forth. So it's a very nice keepsake for the family, and we're lucky that we're able to do it. We're lucky we're able to do it for them.
And we're fortunate as a region that we have someone willing to do that and to be involved with that. So thank you for everything that you do with that. How many riders or how many people do you have involved in these?
Well, we're in every 52 states. If you go to Florida in the winter, Patriot Guard riders are well known in every state. In Michigan, we likely have about 2,500 of us signed up, but like every organization, VFWs, American Legions, there's likely 200 or so that are very active. Another 200 or 300 are semi-active. The most important part is that if we're in your particular city or village, those that are close to that particular location show up. And the important thing is that they stand the flag line with us, and for that hour or two at the service or the cemetery, so the family has a real visual display of patriotism, because there's nothing like seeing a lot of old timers with flags standing in a flag line in honor of their deceased veteran.
Absolutely. And I think just thinking of the visual of it, it's one thing to be standing in an empty cemetery and just there's nothing there, but to be able to provide kind of that visual, that representation of not just you who's standing there, but the whole country is it's powerful. How many would you say do you have show up to a flag line on a normal day?
Well, it depends on the time of year. If you're in the middle of the winter in a snowstorm, there's been as few as 2 of us there, and most of the time there's around 15 to 25 people that will show up for veterans that's passed away. Back in the Iraq and in Afghanistan time, if you had a young person come back as killed in action from overseas, the largest Patriot Guard presence we had was 894 people.
Wow.
Along with motorcycles and cages that honored that young man. It was in Kalamazoo. So it can range from 1 standing on a flag, or it can be hundreds depending on the nature of the event.
There are times when we escorted them from the airports to the funeral home. So you would have all these motorcycles escort them, and along the town you would see families, the whole town, the marquee signs saying his name. And one time we were riding on our motorcycle, and John was the lead guy, and he says, "Are you back there?" And I said, "Yes, but I'm crying because you're riding maybe 10 miles and you see all these people."
And small towns are really great
very
with
supportive.
this.
Oh, yeah.
You will see the schools will allow
Line
the
up.
kids to stand on the street. The little kids from elementary, 3 feet tall.
To the high
Middle
school.
school kids, 4.5 feet tall. High school kids, 5-6 feet tall, along the street, honoring a young veteran that's passed away. It's really impactful, particularly in the smaller towns. They do just an outstanding job of getting the people out.
And these are all volunteers.
Yeah.
All these people that come, no matter what funeral we're doing, it's volunteer. So they just come from the heart.
Yeah. how do families find out and have Patriot Guard show up for a ceremony?
A lot of it is word of mouth from friends, or if they've seen us at funerals and services during someone else's time. But all of our local funeral homes, in particular, are very well aware of the Patriot Guard, and we don't show up on our own. We have to be invited by the family. However, all of the funeral homes around here know us, in all of Michigan, know us very well. So the most effective way to contact the Patriot Guard is to work with the funeral home that you're dealing with, and they have a direct link to us. Again, patriotguard.org. You can Google us up as well, but funeral homes are the main source of information.
Is that something that the funeral guard or the funeral home would recommend or put out there, or would it need to be requested?
Very well received. They know us well enough now, although sometimes you look a little rough with the old guys and motorcycles. They find out that we're just teddy bears, and when they see that flag line, we're very respectful to the funeral home and to the family. And they found over the years that we've been doing this that it's a very supportive. We're part of their mission to support the family in their time of need. So we're welcomed by all the funeral homes, and so far we haven't made a mistake so far.
Great. All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation here on the Art Lewis Show.
If you're looking for your next home or just...
Back with you now on the Art Lewis Show. Jonathan Dent hosting. We're talking about the Saginaw Memorial Day Parade, and we're here with the Grand Marshals. That is John and Diane Mulvaney, heavily involved with the Patriot Guard organization. I got to ask, are you going to have riders with you in the parade?
No.
No?
We are really focused on veterans that have passed away, funerals. We do missions that are more lighthearted, like welcome homes at the airports, MBS Flint, for Thanksgiving and Christmas. You'll see us at the airport. However, we're really orientated to mostly those people that are in need because they've had a loved one passed away.
I want to ask, because this is the Memorial Day Parade. It's taking place on Monday the 25th here. I feel like Memorial Day has kind of gotten downplayed in recent years in America. And just as people who are so involved with especially funerals of those service members that or veterans that have passed away, or service members who were killed in action, what is Memorial Day to you?
Well, Memorial Day, if you look historically, started after the Civil War, and it was just for those people that passed in the Civil War. Over the decades and centuries since then, it's become a time to honor all those veterans that have served in the military. And not just those that passed away in the military, but also those that served in the military, and gives the family an opportunity to honor their service to our country. Most people don't understand that until the time of the funeral. However, if you think about it, those military put in 2, 3, 4 years, some 20, 30 years. But for sure, most of them, 2 to 3 years of their life, they took a break and decided to serve our country in the military. So that in itself is a real reason to honor those people. When you see someone walking around with a veteran's hat on, or know that they're military, just take 5 seconds, stop, thank them for their service, and they will really appreciate it. They'll really appreciate it. So it's particularly the Vietnam veterans, I think, have brought that to light. Our generation has, I think, helped the country understand that those that are serving are doing so to protect the freedoms in this country, And it's not about the politics and all the other stuff that's involved that gets people sideways, but the actual person that's in there protecting us from the bad guys is what it's all about. So any veteran you see him active or passed away, it's something you should do to honor their service to our country.
Absolutely.
And a special way to honor them, too, especially on Veterans Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, these other patriotic days, is go to the cemeteries, put a flag down, salute them. When we go to Holly, my dad's out there in Holly Cemetery, we go there and we salute my dad. When we lay the wreaths down at Christmas time, we go around and we lay wreaths all around at the Holly National Cemetery in Holly.
Great Lakes National Cemetery.
Great Lakes National Cemetery. We lay the wreaths and we salute the person that's there. So, and teach our children. You know, your father or grandfather doesn't have to be in the service, but you know someone in your family that's been a veteran or active or whatever. Please honor them. In Hemlock, we had a young boy who wanted to salute the flag and say the pledge, and he wasn't able to because there was no flag around. So we put a flag up, and now he's able, in Hemlock, they're able to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and that's an honor. Let's teach our children about being patriotic.
Jonathan, if you ever have an opportunity to visit Great Lakes National Cemetery, it's identical to Arlington Cemetery. Fort Custer is also, we have two of them in Michigan, one at Fort Custer and one at Great Lakes National Cemetery in Holly, exit 108 on I-75. If you ever get the opportunity, just take that exit, head to Great Lakes National Cemetery, and you'll see an exact duplicate of the Arlington National Cemetery. White tombstones that are there, dress-right dress, and just a very impactful area. Also, any veteran that served has the benefit of being buried at a national cemetery free of charge. A lot of veterans don't know that they have that benefit as they served in the military, but it's something to get out there if it's because it's a great opportunity for the family to have their loved one at a venue like that. It's just exactly like Arlington Cemetery. Very, very nice.
Yeah, what an honor. That's good information to get out there, especially something that people don't know a whole lot about. I want to stay on Memorial Day for just a second here. We're going to close out this segment in a little bit, but Diane, you were a teacher, right?
I was worked with special needs children.
Great,
Yes.
in the education
Yes.
field. When it comes to that educational aspect, do you think kids are being taught the importance of the sacrifices that have been made for our country?
I'm not sure. I try to bring that out to them and let them know about the veterans and things like that. But I think it should be more patriotism. And I'm glad that at Hemlock we do say the pledge every day, it is said. So I think that's part of it. And we stand, and I do have the children, my SLS students, go to, I did take them to Great Lakes National Cemetery one time. So I do talk to my students, leading students, and we do a lot of things for veterans.
That's great.
And sometimes they went to the airport, too, with me. And I have one SLS students that joined some military, and she was a young lady. And,
Cool.
and she said she did that because of going to the airport with us the one time. So it's by example that we
Yes.
teach the children. So I'm very patriotic. And so I do stuff for 9/11 at the school. John and I put the flags out on Veterans Day, Memorial Day, and the people, we've been doing it for years. So they all know that John and I put the flags out in the front of the high school
That's
on
awesome.
those events, special days. So, yep.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for the final segment of this hour after these notes.
Ready to update your home and
Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Jonathan Dent sitting in here this morning. We're talking with John and Diane Mulvaney. They're the Grand Marshals for this year's Positive Results Downtown Saginaw Memorial Day Parade. That's on Monday the 25th. And we also have the executive director who's heading up this whole thing, Anne-Marie Betkowski-Sullivan. Can you just, real quick, Anne-Marie, give us the details again on the when, where, and hows of the parade?
Right. So obviously it's on Memorial Day, Monday, May 25th. We start setting up around, the team, starts setting up around 8 a.m., but we are asking our participants to arrive at 10 a.m., and then the parade will actually kick off at 11 a.m. This year we have the students from Thompson Middle School who will be part of the band to kick everything off. We're still looking for participants. We'll have about 45 floats or entries into the parade, but we always would like more. So if any of our listeners are interested, we would love to have them.
Awesome. And while we were off the air, you had mentioned wanting to get more veterans out for the Memorial Day Parade.
Yeah.
Is there any specific way that they should come out? Is there anywhere they should be positioned along the parade route?
Nope. We want them out anywhere they want to be along Washington. Goes, like I said, down from Federal all the way down to Hoyt Park at the Veterans Memorial Plaza. The Veterans Memorial Plaza group, the Saginaw County Veterans, they have a memorial service after the parade. It starts at noon, and it's a great experience to witness and be there. So, yeah, the more veterans we can get there, the better.
Now, how did you get in touch with John and Diane to have them lead this whole thing?
My predecessor of the last 30 years of Positive Results, Jeannie Conger, is the one that worked with the Saginaw County Veterans Memorial Plaza Committee, and she's on that committee, and they knew of them, and they were an obvious choice, let's say.
Yeah.
So Jeannie Conger is the one that got us connected.
Do you try and get people who are involved with Veterans Affairs? And things
absolutely.
like that?
Yes, we love all of our vets, and we honor everybody that has given their life at some point to that. Those that are making an impact in the community, especially our area right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, whether it's starting up a group like you guys are doing. Last year we had Chedrick Green. He's captain of the fire department in the city of Saginaw. We are always looking for those who are making impacts every day.
Absolutely. John and Diane, again, my rule that I try and keep is we don't talk about radio subjects when we're during a commercial break, but you guys, so full of information. I love it. And advice. During that last break, we were talking a little bit about how a lot of times vets don't want to talk about it. And a lot of times they will talk about it, but it has to be in that camaraderie of other people who have been there. As someone who hasn't been there, what's an appropriate way to say thank you?
Whenever you see a veteran, particularly those old-timers that have a hat on, it might be a Korean War veteran, World War II, Vietnam, or the War on Terror, just take 10 seconds of your life, approach them, put your hand out, shake their hand, thank them for their service, and then they will truly appreciate that. You just acknowledge that they've taken some years out of their life, and if you do that, they will truly appreciate it. Something short and sweet. Thank you for your service. If you're in a funeral that's involved with a veteran, go up to the family members that, if you deem appropriate, and tell them you're sorry for their loss and you truly appreciate their service to our country. Something short and brief, personable like that is a great way to acknowledge a veteran if you become close to them, so to speak.
You mentioned the old-timers getting involved in some of these organizations, whether it's the Patriot Guard or VFW or whatever. Do you see a lot of the younger generation of veterans and service members getting involved in this stuff?
There are some, however, as we all were when we were young, starting our young families out and working hard. It's hard to take time when you're young to do that, but we do reach out. All your local VFWs and American Legions welcome you to come be part of their organization, whether it be Patriot Guard Riders or something patriotic along that line. I encourage young people to just take a little time out of their week or a month, and particularly if they have children, and just to get involved a little bit into a organization like a veterans organization or a patriotic organization. You'll never regret it, and those kids that you're raising will have they'll be going down the right road if you do that.
Absolutely. That's what we talk about with the education and passing it along to the next generation here. And a lot of those organizations do have some special things, and even if they don't have something special, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, good times, 4th of July, good times to think about that and see what kind of involvement there is. Can one more time, can you give the details on how to get involved with Patriot Guard, whether that is being involved as a rider, standing in flag lines, or if a family has a funeral coming up that they want to reach out and have somebody there?
Quickest way, just Google up Patriot Guard Riders, and you'll get a plethora of information as to how to contact them. All our funeral homes are very supportive in having us at the service if the family requests it. So it'll probably be the most part as you're making your funeral arrangements. And if you want the Patriot Guard Riders there, tell your funeral director, and they know how to get in contact with us.
Fantastic. Well, John, thank you for your service. John and Diane, thank you for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the parade. Anne Marie, thank you for heading up the parade efforts. We love to see it downtown Saginaw on May 25th, Monday. It's early this year. And what time does it start?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. We'll be there, and whether we're in it or not. All right. Thank you. We'll be right back to close out this hour after these notes.
Hi, I'm Katie.
That's it for the Art Lewis Show today. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Coming up on Focus, we'll be talking with the owners of Castle Homes ahead of their open house later this week. Before that, the news with CBS and Mike Percha in the WSGW newsroom.
Broadcasting from the